What's up, everybody, and welcome back to CT Time. My name is Aziza Red, and here with me today is Mr. McCall.
Hey, y'all.
And you guys know you usually hit him talking way too much behind the scenes, butting in while I am, just trying to deliver a message. But today, he is here with us. What's up? And the topic is Juneteenth. Should the holiday be exclusive? So as you all may know or don't know, that Juneteenth has recently become a federal holiday starting 2021.
Yeah, Joe Biden's rule, that's when it became official. Trump introduced it before he left. So I guess he was getting his brownie points before he had to leave the office. So
I've at least known about Juneteenth since I was in high school, but it was not celebrated around my household. My household is still pro July 4th, and my dad's fireworks show goes on for literally an hour. Just the other day, he gave me a handful of fireworks. That's the type of house that I come from, a fireworks type of house. Did your household celebrate July 4th?
Yes and no. It's not, we are here waving flags everywhere or anything. We just barbecue if we can. Mm-hmm. To tell you the truth, I didn't even hear about Juneteenth until 3 years ago.
How did you hear about it? Did somebody outwoke you?
No, I was listening to a rap battle.
Somebody brought it up in a rap battle?
Somebody brought it up in a rap battle. And I was like, oh. Yes, we get it. July 4th is not our holiday. But, one day somebody was like, yeah, our true holiday is Juneteenth. And he said that on the rap song. So it's like, oh, okay.
Let me Google that. But, I'm around a lot of Rastas. So, I've just known about that since high school when around the time when I started my business as a loctician. But if any of you guys do not know what Juneteenth is, so Juneteenth is basically the date that everyone was free. Story time. So, once upon a time, right after the Emancipation of Proclamation. Oh my God, say that.
Emancipation Proclamation.
Proclamation. Around the time that was signed, a news crew was going around the U.S. trying to figure out what Black people were up to since they had been freed. And they would also report back to the Union and the Union soldiers to tell them where they need to go to help, where they should send relief and anything else. So back then, travel was slow. So in order to reach all these corners of the U.S., it was taking a lot of time. So in 2 years' time, they reached, Galveston, Texas? They reached Galveston, Texas, and they got there, and all the Black people were still in chains. They were still slaves, and you know why? Because they weren't allowed to read. They weren't allowed to read. No one could read. They couldn't read the news that said that Black people have been free for at least 2 years now. So,
and you know why that happened? Nat Turner, I'm done.
He was keeping all the books to himself? Whatever.
No, remember we talked about it?
Let's talk about it.
Never.
Whether or not he was a villain, I don't think that was a villain. But please see previous episodes in regards to that one.
There's a connection to that, because...
Okay, we're going to go back to that because I've never... Okay.
Because
so he was keeping all the books to himself? Let me finish the Juneteenth story.
Okay, finish that first.
Okay. Dang. Be your own people. But this is what this day is about. It's like, no one could read, so they didn't know that they were freed. So the news stations had firsthand told these people, you're free now. They saw people ripping from their chains and shouting up high and loud. Those paintings that are in your grandma's house, and everybody's like, that's how it was. That's how it was. Everyone was so happy. They ran behind Union lines. And on June 19th, actually. Juneteenth stands for June 19th. That's when everyone in the U.S. was freed. I know people are saying, how are you saying that it's after when it's June and July 4th is after that? Well, that's 2 years after, so that's how that makes sense, okay? 7 business days, all right?
7 business days.
Let me hear about Nat Turner.
No, remember, because of Nat Turner's revolution, I'll say revolution, you can even say terrorist. It depends on who you talk to, but I'll say revolution. I say revolution. He tried to, remove slavery from the U.S.
If it's not your country, you're not a terrorist.
I mean, Osama bin Laden, 9/11. That's another story. That's another story. So because Nat Turner learned how to read, write, all these other things, because he was a priest and all this other stuff.
Are you saying that he's the Negro behind Jim Crow?
No, but he's like the indirect causation because of what Nat Turner did, because of his brought in knowledge and all these other things he learned. Once they killed him, they said no more Negroes can learn to read, write, all that stuff. And because, that was just maybe 30 years before Juneteenth, not enough Negroes knew how to read or write.
But there wasn't, in Nat's defense, you can't blame him for wanting to be special and feel special.
Not at all.
His downfall was being so proud that he took away the opportunities for other people to secretly learn how to read, whatever type of BS it is. That's what I just heard.
Not even that.
That's what my ears heard.
The slave, he wasn't the only slave that learned how to read and write. There was a bunch of them that did, but because of Nat Turner's actions,
that made them scared.
It made the white man scared, yeah.
And that's why they weren't able to figure out they were free.
I mean,
this is terrible.
It's a domino effect, though.
No, I'm rolling my eyes.
It's a domino effect.
For all of this.
No, I'm not saying I'm not rooting for us.
Popular opinion right there. Why are you just trying to make Nat Turner a villain? Period.
A villain does not mean a bad guy. It doesn't. See, a villain means you are either
the bad guy.
No, a villain is like either the leader of the bad things happening. Like Hitler, you think Hitler actually killed 1 million Jews? Do you think he grabbed a gun and killed 1 million Jews?
He probably got at least 100 of them himself.
Maybe 100, but a whole million. Hold on.
One and you're a bad guy. Three and you're a villain.
He's a 3 and you're a villain.
Okay.
we'll get back to that another time. So yeah, basically that's what happened in Juneteenth. That's what I learned anyways. Learning about Juneteenth from a rap song was really funny. They didn't teach that to me in school at all. Be surprised, what they don't teach you in school then compared to now.
Or even just women history.
That too. I still, don't know much about Susan B. Anthony, and I learned that from Powerpuff Girls. Yeah. No, there's a reason why we brought this up as a topic. Right now there's still a lot of jobs that are not letting Black people take off for this day, but these same jobs are also taking off on July 4th. So in the sense, that doesn't seem fair.
So back to the topic, should Juneteenth be exclusive?
And so
would you feel like July 4th should be exclusive if Juneteenth is?
No. July 4th is basically, part of the Declaration of Independence, meaning that anybody who's declared a U.S. citizen gets, immunity from other countries. So as long as you are a U.S. citizen, you're good. But Juneteenth has nothing to do with white folks, has nothing to do with Hispanic folks and all that. And even, Mexicans have their own Independence Day. Haitians have their own Independence Day.
Can we be real? How many of you colored people had on green for St. Patrick's Day? We show out for Cinco de Mayo. We go get our tacos and tequila. We pop out for every single holiday. So a holiday that's, just about us being free. I really feel like that's Black shame. And we don't talk about Black shame enough. Just like even your statement about Nat Turner, it's screaming Black shame to me.
That's cool.
Black shame is being scared to buy watermelon at Myers. What are you saying? I'm getting all this watermelon. It smells delicious. You smell this watermelon, Susan? What?
I like watermelon. Yeah. I'm gonna still buy it.
Yeah, when it got the yellow spots. What? That's coming with me. That's coming with me for sure. Man, Black girls being scared to come out without their bonnets. Like, you look like that. You're born like that. You're ashamed of it, so now it is a joke. It's a joke.
It's always been a joke.
Ashamed. So I'm gonna laugh. That's disgusting. We have to be proud of ourselves. We have to know what we're, the skin that you're in. You spend so much time trying to cover it and trying to make it something else that when you're actually in it, just all you, nothing else, nothing added. Yeah, I got my blue on today, but talking about Juneteenth. But
she wasn't talking about how you should wear your real hair. you know.
But you know how it is. Like, you know, girls not coming outside when their hair not done. I be outside, y'all. I don't care what I look like. I'm always talking about I'm loved at home, so I don't care. But y'all think.
It's a lot.
But yeah,
we've been trained that way too. You know, a lot of jobs are still saying like wearing an afro is unprofessional. Wearing your twist outs is unprofessional.
I was just telling these clients the other day about how locks just now became legal. Dreadlocks were just illegal. Your workplace could tell you to cut that off. You get shipped from jail to jail, and they'll be shaving these men's heads, you know, unless you had it like written in your birth certificate that was your religion, you know.
They was cutting this kid's hair to wrestle.
I want to teach this in schools now and make it a standard. There is no standard. There are no rules. These are locks. You feel me? There are no rules to locks. I tell people that all the time. It's a whole journey, you know, making rules and standards so people can copy paste.
The braids too. How like, you know, every time a black woman wears braids, like it's considered ghetto. But a white woman does it, it's edgy, it's, you know, it's revolutionary. Box braids, cornrows, the French braids.
So how do you feel about white people? That's WT. White people celebrating Juneteenth.
Like the whole point of, like, you know, while we're having this conversation, that's great that you recognize, but unless you are actually here helping us out, I just see you as another person wearing a dashiki, putting your fist up on a picture,
trying to sell us watermelon,
selling us the ice cream with the trademark on it in Walmart. But you know, that's a here and there.
About them like pushing watermelon on us during this month.
I found out that like Halo, one of my favorite Xbox games, like their online tried to give us a Juneteenth skin, and it was watermelon colors. Yeah, I was like, what?
I do not know how to feel about that.
The Sims has us doing a barbecue.
I love me some watermelon.
No, I like watermelon, but like pushing watermelon, it's always like watermelon, fried chicken, and grape pop.
But is that black shame?
It can be when it's white people doing it.
You know the history of it. As far as, you know, watermelon being like one of those cash crops for black people around the time that they were freed, and them getting shamed for it and it being called a lazy fruit. Even though they grow pumpkins. Like what?
Look,
I don't know.
It's a lot, you know, and you just putting stuff on us and then signifying it as like something a black person would do or just something only black people can have.
It's kind of annoying. And all the we freed nows.
The we's freeze now.
This bro.
We's married now, like all that.
I was so mad.
There's a lot. Luckily, you know, Juneteenth this year was on the same day as Father's Day. And I just say luckily because it's now being more of a federalized holiday, you know, a lot of people now are just trying to market off of it.
As they do every holiday, but I don't know. I feel like black people, more than any other culture of people, we are some culture hoppers. I'm acknowledge it because we're black. We do claim every nationality as we should. But like I said, we be out on the St. Patrick's, this and that, and everybody got a foreign baby mama. Everybody's everywhere, you know. We're not unified. You feel me? So how could we just try to keep all our stuff to ourselves? You know, like we're losing art forms and whole cultures and religions because we want to keep everything to ourselves. You know. Should we make a Hoodoo Bible and publish it?
Why not?
And let that be real stuff instead of fake people making fake stuff about what they think our culture and this and that is supposed to be. But,
I mean, why not? Like
as we saw with Black Lives Matter, what happened when somebody tried to take charge? People should have told us about Juneteenth, not Biden. What are they over there doing with all that money they trying to get from us?
Oh no, they spent it all.
You know, like she's going through trial for that right now. Like, bro, where's the trial?
That, you know, a lot of our people didn't support the movement. Yes, we support the statement. I will say that all day, Black Lives Matter. But the movement is a whole different story. Buying all the t-shirts for what?
Okay, I'm a creator. And I do stuff. I do a lot of things. You know, people came to me on Instagram. They're all like, this is around the time of all the riots and Black Lives Matter just started happening and all that other stuff. And they asked me if I could come work for free somewhere. Like, I'm not a Black Life that matters. Like, what? Like, that don't even make sense to me. You want Black lives to matter, so you want Black people to work for free? Pay Black people. You know,
support Black business.
Support Black businesses without asking for a discount. That's how you make Black lives matter. Not by coming to us and asking us to shut out more. That's backwards. Y'all
it's what it is.
But you're literally doing what they're doing to you because you think that's the only way to do it. No.
It's just how it's going, and you know, it sucks that is how it's going. Yeah, no, just like you said, Black people just claiming everything. Also, that's another issue that we go through. But you know, Juneteenth is a very deep issue. Like, being an exclusive holiday, there's gonna be, you know, that mixed person who's actually labeled white on their birth certificate. Should they celebrate Juneteenth and all that? Should they be able to take the day off even though their birth certificate says white? Are jobs going to check people's birth certificates or just check a bag with them to see if they can take off, you know, for Juneteenth every year?
I feel like we should just get rid of the 4th of July.
You think so?
Everything 4th of July on the Juneteenth, because that's when the whole America was free. And that's how we unify America, the melting pot. And it's not just Black, white, this and that. Because like I said, Black people are already so open and willing to, you know, mix with everybody else, you know? So what's the point of keeping our stuff private until it's like exploited and diluted to the point where it's not even what it was supposed to be?
It's already to that point. I'm seeing people post pictures of everybody wearing dashikis and, you know, scarves and all that. No, I like
you
it.
You know what I'm talking about? He got on the hat and he's like,
got the hat and the glasses and everything. I'm like, it's not Hotep Day. This is the day that you guys, you know, had to leave the white man's yard. But whatever. You guys want
to picnic in honor. No, yeah. Traumatic.
It was very traumatic.
You know what picnic?
You talking about pick a nigga?
Yeah. So everything is like a thing. So it's like, dang, what do? Stay in the house, run the AC. Sounds about right. Make some hush puppies. I don't know.
You can do whatever you want.
As long as they advertise hush puppies.
Advertise hush puppies?
Then fucking watermelon. Wouldn't it be lit?
They wouldn't do that
for Juneteenth.
I don't want them to advertise anything for Juneteenth for real.
They gonna do something, bro. We gotta like. Can we stop? Do you feel like Black people are just overly sensitive about slavery still? But no. The way people ask about the word,
I don't think
we're allowed to be a little weird when your coworker shows up with cotton bouquets.
I don't think we're sensitive enough about slavery. I think it's gotten to the point.
We're sensitive enough?
I think it's gotten to the point where now it's joking, and I think some people, like, when they outrage about it, they outrage the wrong way. Like, you know, there's a lot of predominantly white schools still to this day around, where there's only like maybe 5% Black people in those schools. So like the school will make all types of slavery jokes, and the Black people will like just go with it. But nobody goes to those particular schools and say, hey, I didn't like that joke. I didn't like what you did to my child. No, like they be on TikTok. Yeah, this school did something very racist. Okay, that's cool that you're spreading awareness, but you're not going to the school and saying, hey, I don't like what you did to my child. I don't like what you did to this young boy, this young woman, whatever.
Dude, you think schools are crazy these days.
Yeah, and you know, Walmart trademarking Juneteenth ice cream, Juneteenth cereal, plates, forks, and we're not taking it seriously enough.
Shame the fact that we weren't doing it first.
I don't think it should be trademarked at all.
Same thing of how I kind of felt about segregation. Like, even though we did try over and over and over and over and over again to make our own towns and cities and schools and hospitals, and they become lakes and oceans overnight. Even though we did try, I still feel like, you know, like, why do we keep trying to push to be somewhere that we're not wanted? So it's like, man, I know there are creators out there making Juneteenth things and that since before it was like a federal holiday, you know?
Right.
So why not go to one of those companies, pay them out, hope that their production goes fast, and put that in the shelves and uplift Black voices?
Because
like the selection on Netflix says, uplift black voices, and it's like the first movie is Holiday Heart.
Holiday Heart, 12 Years a Slave, all that.
Crackhead movie. Uplift Black voices.
Man, I was
That's not funny, but like, bro, Bro, black trauma movies be going so hard though.
They go too hard. Not every single black person knows what it's like living in the hood. Not every single black person knows what it's like to have to sling dope at 12 years old and all that.
You know who gives like the best perspective of how it feels to come to like real black people in America? Like Africans. Because, you know, we dress up on Juneteenth and other days and we put on our dashikis saying we from a motherland that don't really give a fuck about us. I'm gonna be real. And I talk to these dudes and they like, they think about America based off of the videos, the music videos of girls outside and this and that and boys in the hood. And they say they come here and it's literally like that. This is like the music videos. Like, this is real life. Stuff just happens in America. Like, people.
Well, then again, they always come visit New York, Atlanta, LA.
I'm talking about ones that are here in Cincinnati.
In Cincinnati?
I'm doing their locks and they've never heard the dreads before. The Africans don't know what dreads are. Like, and I'm telling them that it's from there. Like, what? Like, what?
They probably not from that one specific spot. You know, there's like different tribes in Africa and all that. It's crazy. Like, if you actually have a legit African friend, ask him what tribe he's from and everything. Ask him what particular language he speaks, and ask him like how far back his particular lineage for his country goes.
Hey, that's when they shame start coming out, and they'll be like, "Yeah," and then we sold some people. You're like, "Oh dang!" Whenever you really get deep into like somebody from Africa, their lineage, it always gets dark. Like, dang.
It depends. I like
here.
I like Ethiopian history. Like Ethiopia. Ethiopia once upon a time almost ruled the whole world. Like, they were like the largest African empire, but they weren't called Ethiopia at the time.
Who had the last standing king? The last Khan? Was that I know it was a black emperor.
I don't remember about the Khan. No way, yeah, I do remember about the Khan thing because I was looking up Viking history. It was a black woman.
Yeah, almost all the last standing kings and queens were, you know, black. Well, of course, you know, Emily over there and her kids and all that crazy stuff. We're not even talking about them.
I mean, there's still a bunch of like white hierarchies out there, but like, you know, some of the originals were like, you know, Moors or just regular black European people, and like some of that history has been like either erased or they just don't bring it out in America. You know, they always want to bring up the Game of Thrones looking people.
They literally erased the nigga right off the painting.
But yeah, so Juneteenth being like these, I don't want July 4th to be on June 19th. I want
you're connected to it.
No, I just want July 4th to be July 4th. That was the day that we signed the Declaration of Independence, even though it was just nothing but white men in the room. It was just white men in the room. So like at the time,
like I said, they erased the nigga. I mean, face right there.
If a black person did sign off it and they just erased it or smudged it out, whatever, that's a whole. But we will get there.
That's around the time, you know, black shame was big then too. Like how black people showed that they were elite from the actual slaves was powdering the heck out of their faces and just being the flyest nigga in the room, you know. So usually you could spot the black people in the painting because of all the drip. Honestly, no real.
I mean, yeah, there is some of that too. But not, did you know that the Emancipation Proclamation was actually modified several times? I know like a lot of people are taught that after the Civil War.
All of the documents took like weeks and weeks and weeks in hot rooms to make.
I know a lot of people just think that for some reason the Civil War happened, then the Emancipation Proclamation happened, but actually the Emancipation Proclamation happened during the Civil War. Like Lincoln was telling these slaves, if you fight for the Union, you're free. But a lot of slaves weren't getting the message. Like only about, we'll say like 100,000. There's probably way more slaves than that at the time, but like almost 100,000 slaves got the message, but who knows how many actually fought for Lincoln. And then eventually it was when they signed off the amendments, that's when we all were free, but it had to be by force. Some people weren't letting us go, even till like 1955. Like, it's crazy when you think about that. Like, people aren't celebrating Juneteenth until 1955. Or, sorry, the emancipation until 1955, because people stopped visiting Mississippi to see if the man freed the slaves.
I too. I mean, people stopped visiting Mississippi, but that's where Jim Crow was really on and popping, right?
It's still on.
They still are, where they drew those Union lines. So that was one of the most dangerous places to be. They would lynch you for blinking.
Also, Civil War is the only year timeline where there's two presidents. There's two presidents during the Civil War.
For the North and the South?
For Confederacy and the Union.
Who was the president of the South?
I forgot what his name was.
Is he listed in the president's song?
Mm-hmm.
Really? Who is it?
I forgot.
Dang. Call in, you guys. Who was the president during
the Civil War?
Civil War. Both of them, I guess, for the North and the South. And you all can contact us here at this number right here below me.
Yes, please give us a call or text.
Hit us on our email, anything else. Contact us. Tell us how you feel about Juneteenth. Should it be an exclusive holiday? Should we have not even told them about this? Who told them about this? Did we ask for it to be a federal holiday? If it's a federal holiday, shouldn't we all be getting paid? Should they only pay Black people for this?
That's the part right there. We're not even getting paid for the day. It's a federal holiday.
It's a federal holiday. Who are they paying for this?
Man, like...
when does that happen? Because everything else federal...
There's a HIPAA law. So, they can't look deep into our history just to figure out, like, if we're lying or not about certain things.
But people that aren't citizens and still have a job still get time and a half on July 4th. So here we go again with Black people trying to keep everything to themselves. Because non-citizens definitely get holiday pay, if you didn't know. I mean, whatever heck there is in Rhodes. but yeah.
I mean, like July 4th, Christmas, all that, but then Juneteenth. Juneteenth is the sketchy holiday because it's like only Black people. Hold on, only Black people are supposed to get paid for this day. Only Black people are supposed to get the day off.
What do we do? So, like I said, Cinco de Mayo, tacos and tequila, St. Patrick's Day, green beer.
I mean, but St. Patrick's Day, you don't get paid for that.
Juneteenth, you better not show up with watermelon. Like, what are we doing? Like, we have to tell them what we want to do on that day, Like, do we just want to not be bothered? Is this the day where AC is free? Like, what's going on? You get free ice everywhere? Like, what's happening?
That'd be great. Free ice cream.
Yes, I know.
Free ice cream for every single, like... But again, like, they're going to do the bag thing on us.
See? That's why we need a leader that we can trust, not no watermelon eating ass endorsement guy,
Right.
That's in the lobby with the watermelon farmers.
You know what? Instead of this background, I should have did the one where they put like Peter up to like this little card, and like it was like, yeah, he's okay because it's like this shade light.
Oh, I know that would have been perfect. I think the background should have been that my skin is black.
The OJ song from Jay-Z.
The OJ song.
No.
It makes me feel like Good Morning America.
I mean, true. This is Good Morning right now. Y'all woke yet? Y'all woke yet? It's your third.
No. Next show, y'all woke yet? We gonna go. I love that. We gotta go on in the morning.
Good Morning America. Y'all woke yet?
Don't steal our mind.
Don't steal it. Don't steal it. No. I'm putting it in court now.
We got any comments?
Quick. No, I just got a heart. But yeah, so when I think about trying to make it exclusive, that's literally what I'm thinking about, is somebody putting a card up to us, a plastic bag up to us, and whatever, and that will suck.
I know I'm Black enough, but I don't know. If you can't get in, you don't got your wristband, it's cool.
You got your wristband? Can't get in without wristband.
Try it again.
But that's how many like biracial people there are.
Yeah.
That like literally are white passing, and like they can't.
Okay, can Rachel Dozenoff? Can she come?
Rachel, that's the white girl who claimed she was Black, right?
Yeah, she got years in.
No, she white.
Like,
she got fired because she was white.
Don't they let men say that they're women after that they lived like that for like 5 years?
The trans race thing is a whole different story.
But no, everything should just be the same, right?
Trans race thing is a whole different story.
So she got 5 years in this Black shit. At least more. She's
talking about I'm going natural. I learned how to braid hair. No, she whole white. She whole white. She got fired from the NAACP because she whole white.
Black card are we taking back for this thing? Can we just list a couple of people that can't get in no more that thought that they could? Can we gotta take Machine Gun Kelly card back.
Machine Gun Kelly was never Black.
I'm talking about the cards that we gave out. This is what I'm talking about.
The card.
Because, Black people, we let anybody in. Like I said, everybody got a foreign baby mama. Everybody let somebody say nigga. Like,
that's true.
Everybody got their one person. Let's be real.
I mean,
you have to say nigga, and you like, he said it good. He can say it. No. Take his card back because we only got a certain amount of money to give out on Juneteenth.
We broke out her.
But for real, Justin Timberlake, he always been a poser. We just had to find out
when he had the braids, when he had the cornrows,
and that's over. His actual personality sucks, and I don't want him with Britney. And Justin Bieber, all the Justins is fucking up right now.
Well, Justin Bieber literally said on a song, "There'll be one less lonely nigger."
Yeah, taking that card back.
That was when he got signed with Usher. That was as soon as he got signed with Usher. I remember seeing that.
Boom. Who else? Who else getting their card taken? Machine Gun Kelly, Justin Timberlake, Justin Bieber, Eminem.
Eminem never claimed to be one of us.
That's what we liked about him.
That was the whole point. He never claimed to be one of us.
Gave him this.
He's like, no, I know I'm white. Look at how I rap. Like, yeah, no. You know he white.
Who else?
I don't even know. I don't invite nobody to the cookout, so I go to their cookouts. I don't look. It doesn't matter if I let you. No, I'm not gonna say I let you say it.
Tequila be acting like that.
What?
I liked her back in the day.
it's
talking
just
about black girls' hair don't grow because God don't like us.
Oh my gosh!
She acting wild on YouTube.
Nah,
they all be playing when they get back.
You always see somebody's true colors. You know, I was just watching Golden Girls again, and Don Cheadle, I think that's how you say his name, was coming at Blanche about the Confederate flag, and she's like, "Oh, it's just my heritage." She's like, "To me, that's a Nazi symbol," you know.
Like I was saying, they get really sensitive about the Holocaust, but then if you get sensitive about slavery, they're like, forget about that.
Oh, let's just say you get sensitive about how they cook their chicken. Let's just say one day you stop code switching. Like, there's going to be those days that you just don't feel like code switching. You ain't been around your white friends in so long. So, like, you know, the N-word just pops out randomly because you're just used to it. So, hey, you're talking about just saying, hey.
No, because I just had a flashback because I'm drunk. I'm just me, period. Like you said, but I do probably say nigga a lot less when I'm with my white people. You feel me? Sorry, just to call y'all that. Niggas. I was drunk and I was just like dropping the N-bomb over and over, and I was just seeing their faces, and they were just like so into it.
No, for real, like. The day that you stop code switching in front of your white friends, like the faces they make, the day you stop code switching at your job with all your white people, like, yeah,
like,
what?
I cussed out the whole kitchen the other day, and I was so freaking mad because okay, I'm a woman and I'm a really good chef, you know, and like I said, I do a bunch of things. I cook in a nice kitchen. So yeah,
did they even let you off?
They keep leaving buckets and trash and stuff in my area. Like when they run out of stuff, they'll put it in my area. So my area be full of trash. But like I cook so fast, you know, women, we're used to this, you know. But like as you know, in like mainstream kitchens is mostly male chefs, you know. So as a woman chef, they're like, oh, like you know, as a woman, like they get lunch, oh, and can you give me a Coca-Cola? I'm going to leave all the buckets over here and she'll have time. Yeah, I'll be having time, but I was so freaking mad. I thought I was ready to go. And somebody had a stack of stuff, wet, nasty stuff, like empty stuff underneath my stuff. Bruh, I cussed out everybody. I was throwing so much shade. I was so freaking mad. Everybody, my boss ain't even say nothing. He was just so shook. And he usually like an asshole, Gordon Ramsay type, you know? So he was just like,
and it's the fact that you're also a black woman. They're just like, I don't know how to approach her. She might do something to me. She might rip my head off. She might cast a spell. Like, bro, like, dang.
I ain't even gonna hold you. It made me want to keep going.
It's like, she didn't just curse me out. She probably cursed me. She probably cast a spell on me. I better go home and pray. Like,
we feeling. What's that scene where after she just blew the house up?
I ain't even mad.
In the wind. It's like that.
Should we invite Mariah Carey back to the cookout?
I don't know. Apparently she did something to Nick. It's like, no, I don't believe in that.
Nah, just
weird now.
Nick is very weird now. Like, I just posted a video about him like celebrating Father's Day, and he's like, yeah, I probably need to get like a procedure. And it's like, you rich, you can get a procedure. You just acting funny on a commercial now. But that's whatever. We'll ignore him. The Juneteenth thing, it's going to suck. A few years down the line until we actually get it properly together.
Until we get proper leaders that are really going to speak for us. I'm mad that we haven't heard anything from Kamala Harris, our vice president, our woman in office that's supposed to be making things happening. She's supposed to be speaking to Black leaders, figuring out what the heck we want for Juneteenth. If she really cared about us.
She never did. She just showed up in all the Black places because she was passing. We need to talk about Black passing too. That's a whole different story. Like, literally. White passing is an issue, but white passing is not really an issue on our end. Like, the person knows they're white, but they're being like talked down by us. Like, again, biracial people. You can't say the N-word.
Make a statement about Juneteenth before I'm bragging on her.
She said Happy Juneteenth. She just started screaming it. That's it. I almost posted that GIF, but I was like, nope.
Right. It was fake. It was really fake. She's so fake.
No, but just the fact that, like I said, biracial people, Doja Cat, a good example because, everybody sees her. Like the fact that, she says a lot of crazy controversial. No, I'm not even going to say controversial, just crazy things. Can we stop
acting like just because somebody has Black in them that they have to choose us?
And they shouldn't have to choose us.
You guys definitely choose a side, and sometimes you don't have to. They
don't have to choose us at all.
Can we stop calling biracial people Black? Because that makes it seem like they had to choose a side and that they chose a side and they're not acknowledging that side. Who knows what happens when you go around those people, So I'm not trying to say I'm not trying to be racist or anything, but like we're all our own groups. We're all the same thing, but we're all our own groups, They're just trying to make that person Black can just cause a lot of offensiveness when they're in their own group.
They are their own people. They all have their own like agenda and everything, but again, trying to exclude them, like especially if they actually are Black, and then there are biracial people who are just Mexican and Scottish or something.
Because that's some foolishness, and that actually makes me feel more united with everybody. The word Black in general, we do all need to trace our ancestors a lot better and figure out exactly where we are and what we come from and who we are really related to. Because just the word Black, I feel like it's a blanket word for anybody,
Unfortunately, it's going to stay a blanket word. It doesn't matter for some people if they go to 23andMe, whatever, give all their blood to all the vampires or their saliva to like kinky people. I'm going to say like that. I'm going to say like that.
Yellow, sweet.
Certain places you have to give out blood to get your DNA tested. I don't like going to hospitals because every time I go to the hospital, they draw my blood. I asked a bunch of white people, like, when you go to the hospital for like a cold or something, do they draw your blood? They're like, no. Like, I only heard one out of like 20 people that were white.
I always take mine too.
See? Vampires.
I hate it. I don't even want to go.
You're like, I just got this like broken leg. And they be like, okay, let me check your blood. Right. My leg is broken. I'm not coughing. I don't have AIDS.
Comment below if they take your blood when you go for like a cold and like other stuff, because they definitely take.
They always try to get the needle. I'm like, look, I'm just here because my leg is broken. Can I get an X-ray because you put a cast on it? And
this is a long history of actually Black people not trusting the doctor. Period. Because as far as women,
Black women
go to the doctor for a cold, come out with your tubes tied. You go in because your toe broke, come out with your tubes tied.
There ain't nothing wrong with your toe. You just want some Oxycontin. Like, no, my toe is actually broken. You don't see it like all the way on the other side. Like, or I went there because I had I guess you could say I had either anxiety attack or a stroke or both at the same time.
Okay.
And they checked me for other things. They even declared I was epileptic.
Okay.
And they put me on retard pills because of that.
They might have saw something you didn't see.
I have never had a seizure.
You might be retarded.
I'm retarded because they gave me retard pills. You know what? I'm letting her go. I'm letting her go. No, actually, it's Suicide Awareness Month this month. I
did see that. And there's actually going to be a new hotline number, 988. for depression and suicide awareness. If anybody,
June has a lot of things to celebrate. This is LGBT month. This is suicide awareness month. This is Juneteenth, Father's Day, the summer solstice. There's so many things we could have talked about this month, but Juneteenth was like one of those ones, especially since this is like literally the day of Juneteenth right now. Best time to talk about it. And, you know, a lot of people are like, don't celebrate the day or do celebrate the day. And then like there's other people that's like, dashikis. Yeah. It's like,
yeah,
no.
they be mad about us wearing those. We need our own stuff. Like Yeezys.
Man.
That's slave wear. But lit, say that.
It's just like, wow. When you think about it, just whew. But
shout out to Kanye. If you see this, we would love to wear some holy clothes for Juneteenth next year here on the show.
You got some holy clothes?
Send us some stretched out neck sweaters. What? Today's sponsor actually is Dolce & Nero. I got on my De Niro shirt right now. This show was on them actually. Shout out to them. If you guys want to go to the website, do they have one?
Not yet. We're working on it.
Working on it. Definitely reach out to us on the concerning topics.
Yeah.
Look at the door. Go ahead.
I'll get it in a second. There's a lot of stuff that, you know, that should come into play for Juneteenth. I don't want nobody to think that we can't celebrate it, black or white, but I think that particularly is for black people. And that's another thing that we have to, you know, fix very soon, because I don't want us to do the bad card. I know I keep bringing it up, but seriously, that's a really big issue.
But think of it though, like it's something that people have been telling us to just let go for this long. Like, oh, forget about slavery. That's over now. Oh, let it go. You're really mad about cotton bouquets? Like, you know, stuff like that. So the fact that we're celebrating it now, I do feel like it is a lot of black shame that goes into not wanting to. You know, not wanting to wear watermelon colors. And not wanting to.
I mean,
we definitely put on that evil ass flag for the 4th before it got like, you know, too woke and we wear dashikis that day now. But we have a day for dashikis and now it's like we don't want to wear watermelon and dashikis. Like what?
Yeah.
Are we embarrassed? Like our parent just came to the dance with us? That's kind of what it feels like.
It's a lot. There's a lot of connections to a lot of particular holidays. And I know, like, if you have a black woke friend, they will tell you it somehow connects to black people every single time.
Everything.
If you have a religious friend who's like overly spiritual, they'll tell you it relates to something pagan. Mm-hmm. There's nothing new under the sun. And, you know, do not leave any rock unturned. I can't really specifically tell you like the whole complete importance of Juneteenth. All I can tell you is that this is the day that we were finally free on paper, but it took years. It took years. It took a lot of time. This is just the official day that we were finally free. And you know, we have like 1 minute maybe or two.
Before we go, are you team Malcolm X or team Martin Luther King?
I'm team neither. Malcolm X.
Team Coretta Scott?
No. Malcolm X found out in the end that he was wrong, and Martin Luther King, you know, understood that he was wrong before, like probably a year or two before, like he got assassinated. They were both wrong in their actions.
Do you feel like black people feel like our leaders have to be perfect?
That's the issue.
And we'll definitely have to talk about that next time. Thank you for tuning in to Concerning Topics. My name is Aziza Red, and this is my awesome producer, Mr. McCall. And we'll see you guys next time. Hey.
But again, you guys, look up Juneteenth as best you can. Google is not your friend in this case. But try your best to, you know, look it up. There's a local library that still has books. Just try. Local library. Also look up, you know, the Civil War. That's a good talk too. It's not just about states' rights, all right? That's where we're going at that. Man, we should have talked about a little bit more stuff in the Juneteenth era, like when it started. But visit your local library, everybody.